I stand before you like this, my gray t-shirt soaked with ice water and fish blood, my tattered shorts, my hat with holes in it. You might wonder why I'm still stuck in this market, in this fishy-smelling corner, in the bone-chilling morning cold. But let me tell you, so you know how this knife in my hand isn't just a sharp piece of metal, but a witness to my life from youth until gray hairs began to grow on my eyebrows. My name is Rama. People here call me Man Potong, or sometimes just Bang Man. Am I old? If you count my ID card, it's over half a century. But I feel like a part of my life is left on this cutting table, among the scales of the tuna, stingray, snapper, and mackerel that come to see me every morning. I started cutting fish when I was 17. Back then, I was just a kid helping to lift fish from fishing boats, running around carrying ice cubes. My sweat was wet with the salty seawater, which I considered a blessing at the time. I learned slowly, at first, just washing the fish and removing the scales, then gradually holding a knife. The first time I held a knife, my hands trembled. One wrong cut would make the boss furious, the fish would spoil and the price would plummet. But I was determined because I needed to eat. Years passed. My hands became more accustomed. The knife, which used to be heavy, was now like an extra finger on my hand. I could distinguish between fresh tuna that had just come up the night before and those that had been exposed to heat on the dock. I knew how to slit the belly, pull out the bones, separate the smooth flesh, and discard anything that would make it smell. You know, cutting fish requires feeling. You have to be patient. The knife must always be sharp and your eyes must be sharp. A single cut can determine a customer's smile. Sometimes people say, I'm just a fish cutter. So be it. I'm proud. In this market, I know everyone who eats my cuts. Grilled rice vendors, housewives, owners of expensive restaurants in town. They all come looking for tuna that's neat, clean, and free of excess fishiness. I'm just a cutter, but their livelihood depends on my knife. Have you seen my finger? There's a scar at the base of my thumb. This is from 2005, when I was cutting a large mackerel, and my knife slipped because of too much ice water. Blood was gushing out, and I thought my finger was gone. But thank God. God still gave me another opportunity to work. At home, my children all go to school under this fishy smell. One already works in an office. The other's still studying in the city. Sometimes they're embarrassed. Their father is a fish cutter in a wet market. But I tell them, if you eat well at the boarding house, remember, the rice comes from your father's fishy fish. Now they're starting to understand sometimes they come home and help me carry ice, even if only for a short time. What I miss most is the sea. When I was young on my days off, I'd also go out on a fishing boat. It felt free watching the sun rise on the horizon, the strong salty wind, my sweaty hands lifting a large tuna. But as I get older, I leave that to the younger ones. My job is here now, the knife, the table, and the fish. Do you want to know why I stay here, even though the market is getting quieter, losing out to the supermarket? Because here I feel alive. Every morning I'm greeted by the sound of birds, the cries of vegetable vendors, the laughter of women haggling over prices. Here I can still chat with many people, hear village news, fishermen's gossip, stories of small debts. If you're in a supermarket, where's the sound? Everything was silent behind the cold neon lights. So that's my story. Tomorrow when you come again, I'll cut fresh tuna for you. Don't be afraid of fishing. This smell is a witness to my life, a witness to halal sustenance, a witness to the harshness of the sea, a witness to a father's responsibility for his wife and children. If you have children in the future, teach them to respect all work. Not everyone can sit in an air-conditioned office chair, but not everyone can stand on a wet floor, their hands covered in scales, for a blessed bite of rice. My name is Raymond, a fish cutter at a traditional market. If you want to hear another story, come again. My knife is sharp and my story is even sharper. Don't be afraid of fishing. This smell is a witness to my life, a witness to halal sustenance, a witness to the harshness of the sea, a witness to a father's responsibility for his wife and children. If you have children in the future, teach them to respect all work. Not everyone can sit in an air-conditioned office chair, But not everyone can stand on a wet floor, their hands covered in scales, for a blessed bite of rice. My name is Raymar, a fish cutter at a traditional market. If you want to hear another story, come again. My knife is sharp and my story is even sharper.